If you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. I don't care that they stole my idea. I care that they don't have any of their own. Of all things, I liked books best. The day science begins to study non-physical phenomena, it will make more progress in 1 decade than in all the previous centuries of its existence. The scientists of today think deeply instead of clearly. One must be sane to think clearly, but one can think deeply and be quite insane. Be alone. That is the secret of invention. Be alone. That is when ideas are born. My brain is only a receiver. In the universe, there is a core from which we obtain knowledge, strength, and inspiration. I have not penetrated into the secrets of this core, but I know that it exists. If your hate could be turned into electricity, it would light up the whole world. I do not think you can name many great inventions that have been made by married men. What we want is closer contact and better understanding between individuals and communities all over the earth, and the elimination of egoism and pride, which is always prone to plunge the world into primeval barbarianism and strife. Peace can only come as a natural consequence of universal enlightenment. Everyone should consider his body as a priceless gift from one whom he loves above all, a marvelous work of art, of indescribable beauty and mystery behind human conception, and so delicate that a word, a breath, a look, nay, a thought may injure it. I do not think there is any thrill that can go through the human heart like that felt by the inventor as he sees some creation of the brain unfolding to success. Such emotions make a man forget food, sleep, friends, love, everything. Our virtues and our failings are inseparable, like force and matter. When they separate, man is no more. What we now want is closer contact and better understanding between individuals and communities all over the earth, and the elimination of egoism and pride, which is always prone to plunge the world into primeval barbarianism and strife. Peace can only come as a natural consequence of universal enlightenment. Everyone should consider their body as a priceless gift from one whom he loves above all, a marvelous work of art, of indescribable beauty and mystery beyond human conception, and so delicate that a word, a breath, a look, nay, a thought may injure it. I do not think there is any thrill that can go through the human heart like that felt by the inventor as he sees some creation of the brain unfolding to success. Such emotions make a man forget food, sleep, friends, love, everything. Our virtues and our failings are inseparable, like force and matter. When they separate, man is no more. Let the future tell the truth and evaluate each one according to his work and accomplishments. The present is theirs. The future, for which I have really worked, is mine. All that was great in the past was ridiculed, condemned, combated, suppressed, only to emerge all the more powerfully, all the more triumphantly from the struggle. Life is and will ever remain an equation incapable of solution, but it contains certain known factors. We crave for new sensations, but soon become indifferent to them. The wonders of yesterday are today's common occurrences. What one man calls God, another calls the laws of physics. If you only knew the magnificence of the 3, 6, and 9, then you would have the key to the universe. Invention is the most important product of man's creative brain. The ultimate purpose is the complete mastery of mind over the material world, the harnessing of human nature to human needs. I am credited with being one of the hardest workers, and perhaps I am, if thought is the equivalent of labor, for I have devoted to it almost all of my waking hours. But if work is interpreted to be a definite performance in a specified time according to a rigid rule, then I may be the worst of idlers. The gift of mental power comes from God, divine being, and if we concentrate our minds on that truth, we become in tune with this great power. My mother had taught me to seek all truth in the Bible. The individual is ephemeral. Races and nations come and pass away, but man remains. You may live to see man-made horrors beyond your comprehension. It's not the love you make, it's the love you give. But instinct is something which transcends knowledge. We have undoubtedly certain finer fibers that enable us to perceive truths when logical deductions or any other willful effort of the brain is futile. Most persons are so absorbed in the contemplation of the outside world that they are wholly oblivious to what is passing on within themselves. Every living being is an engine geared to the wheelwork of the universe. Though seemingly affected only by its immediate surroundings, the sphere of external influence extends to infinite distance. My method is different. I do not rush into actual work. When I get an idea, I start at once building it up in my imagination. I change the construction, make improvements, and operate the device entirely in my mind. The scientific man does not aim at an immediate result. He does not expect that his advanced ideas will be readily taken up. His work is like that of the planter for the future. His duty is to lay the foundation for those of who are to come and point the way. He lives and labors and hopes. Marconi is a good fellow. Let him continue. He is using 17 of my patients. So astounding are the facts in this connection that it would seem as though the Creator himself had electrically designed this planet. Peace can only come as a natural consequence of universal enlightenment and merging of races, and we are still far from this blissful realization. As I review the events of my past life, I realize how subtle are the influences that shape our destinies. The progressive development of man is vitally dependent on invention. It is the most important product of the creative brain. A new world must be born, a world that would justify the sacrifices offered by humanity. This new world must be a world in which there shall be no exploitation of the weak by the strong, of the good by the evil, where there will be no humiliation of the poor by the violence of the rich, where the products of intellect, science, and art will serve society for the betterment and beautification of life, and not the individuals for achieving wealth. This new world shall not be a world from the downtrodden and humiliated, but of free men and free nations, equal in dignity and respect. We are all one. Only egos, beliefs, and fears separate us. A new idea must not be judged by its immediate results. From childhood, I was compelled to concentrate attention upon myself. This caused me much suffering, but to my present view, it was a blessing in disguise, for it has taught me to appreciate the inestimable value of introspection and the preservation of life, as well as a means of achievement. Let one concentrate all his energies in one single great effort. Let him perceive a single truth. Even though he be consumed by the sacred fire, then millions of less gifted men can easily follow. Therefore, it is not as much quantity as quality of work which determines the magnitude of the progress. One's salvation can only be brought about through his own efforts. Originality thrives in seclusion, free of outside influence beating upon us to cripple the creative mind. Be alone, that is the secret of invention. Deficient observation is merely a form of ignorance and responsible for the many morbid notions and foolish ideas prevailing. Each day we go to our work in the hope of discovering, in the hope that someone, no matter who, may find a solution of one of the pending great problems, and each succeeding day we return to our task with renewed ardor. And even if we are unsuccessful, our work has not been in vain, for in these strivings, in these efforts, we have found hours of untold pleasure, and we have directed our energies to the benefit of mankind. Gain more, waste less, spend efficiently, learn. Science is but a perversion of itself, unless it has as its ultimate goal the betterment of humanity. My belief is firm in the law of compensation. The true rewards are ever in proportion to the labor and sacrifices made. My project was retarded by laws of nature. The world was not prepared for it. It was too far ahead of its time. But the same laws will prevail in the end and make it a triumphal success. Misunderstandings are always caused by the inability of appreciating one another's point of view. This again is due to the ignorance of those concerned, not so much in their own as in their mutual fields. Our first endeavors are purely instinctive, promptings of an imagination vivid and undisciplined. As we grow older, reason asserts itself and we become more and more systematic and designing. Intelligent people tend to have less friends than the average person. The smarter you are, the more selective you become. Antisocial behavior is a trait of intelligence in a world full of conformists. The desire that guides me in all I do is the desire to harness the forces of nature to the service of mankind.